This all seems horrible.
On the surface, Hulk's skill set seems to boil down to just being big, green, and angry all the time. His rage makes him truly incredible. As he gets stronger, the angrier he gets. But Hulk does have a lot of hidden powers that you may not know about. Did you know Banner may be more in control than we thought? Did you know he's an incredible sneak? Did you know that his anger may be infectious? Yeah, I'll be talking about all those special powers right now. Let's get started. I think the first hidden power that I want to talk about is the fact that the Hulk actually doesn't hurt innocent people, because there's so much to unpack here.
Stay calm, or I will smash you.
On the surface, the Hulk's whole shtick is that he's this uncontrollable rage monster that could cause devastating destruction if left unchecked. It's the root of the struggle between Bruce Banner and the Hulk. If every time Bruce Banner hulked out, he turned into a nice green giant that was polite and said his please and thank yous, then that wouldn't necessarily cause Bruce or anyone else much fear. No, it's the fact that the Hulk is uncontrollable and dangerous to everything around him that makes everyone so nervous. But this hidden ability may actually get rid of that aspect completely. During the World War Hulk storyline, Amadeus Cho confronted the Hulk and put forth this theory, saying that he combed over every single recorded encounter the Hulk has ever had, and there were no instances where an innocent life was taken. Hulk is a little incredulous about this and even names a few examples, but Cho is able to counter that by saying how mostly every time Hulk does take a life, it's a dangerous enemy, or he was being controlled by an outside force. Amadeus thinks that Banner is so incredibly smart that even though he's asleep behind the wheel when Hulk is in control, he's still able to map out all the trajectories and angles of Hulk's rampages and subtly influence the beast to not kill anyone due to all the destruction. Yeah, I mean, there are a few flaws in that. Like, sure, the Hulk would never punch an innocent into the sun or anything like that, but he's still plowing through buildings and homes which have to cause some type of collateral damage, right? And I don't know how much I like this ability overall, because sure, it's a neat way to make Hulk seem more heroic and therefore more kid-friendly if he never actually takes an innocent life, but I also think it strips away the core concept of the Hulk character. I like the idea that these two personalities are completely separate and have to learn to work with one another, and it takes away some of that intrigue if we know Bruce is actually controlling the Hulk to make him less dangerous. But that's just my opinion. So we all know that the Hulk gets stronger the angrier he gets, and that anger is arguably his biggest superpower. But what if that anger could be infectious? That's the gist of this entry. It's something that was hinted at and mildly explored in the Immortal Hulk comic series. So in this arc, Hulk flares up with gamma radiation and decimates a small town. And it's actually quite sad since the town was honoring the Hulk after the hero saved them. But due to the interference of Rick Jones and the villain the Leader, the explosion happened and threw everything off. After that event, the group of villains known as Gamma Flight started to attack the Hulk, but things felt strange. The group, comprised of Absorbing Man, Titania, and Puck, were all acting much more aggressive than usual, which led to Doc Samson coming to the conclusion that because of Hulk's massive gamma outburst, it made his anger infectious. Now, can you imagine if this was the case all the time? What if the angrier Hulk got, the angrier the world got around him? I think we'd all destroy ourselves if that was the case, right? So what this video is really doing is presenting the Hulk in a different light, right? We know the big things Hulk is capable of, but there are a few surprises in here as well, and that's what this entry focuses on. The Hulk's size is pretty massive, right? He sticks out is what I'm saying. He's not someone who can just walk down the street without being noticed. Maybe it's the green skin, the hulking frame, the muscles, any of that. But what if I told you the Hulk was actually an incredible sneak? It's true. It's established in the Immortal Hulk storyline that the Hulk is actually great at not being noticed when he wants to disappear. People don't necessarily believe this to be a skill the Hulk has, but it's true. This line of dialogue that hints that Hulk can disappear quite easily does so much for the character overall. For one, it solves the plot hole and nitpicks from his earlier years regarding how he always seemed to escape from whatever military or bad guy was chasing him. But it also opens up a completely new side to the Hulk. Yes, we know that Banner is the smart one of the pair, and the Hulk is is often portrayed as this savage beast, but with this ability, it makes the Hulk personality smart in a different way. He may not be on the verge of getting an 8th PhD or anything like that, but the Hulk has a keen sense of his surroundings and can use them to his advantage. And that ability also makes Hulk more terrifying. Imagine someone like the Hulk sneaking up on you. You just turn around and bam, there's this hulking monster standing in your living room. Scary. To piggyback off the idea that the Hulk personality is more in tune with nature and the universe than we expect, that brings us to the next entry about Hulk being able to see ghosts. Yeah, this one is a bit weird, and it's not like just one kind of ghost, but a whole range of ghosts. Like, he's seen spirits, and he's been able to see Doctor Strange in his astral form. And there have been reasons for this and theories, but I just like this general idea. It further expands on what I was saying before in regards to having the Hulk not necessarily be book smart, but on a different level of intelligence that helps to set him apart from everyone else.
No, we're a chemical mixture that makes chaos.
And I wish this could be a power that the Hulk displays in the MCU. At the beginning of She-Hulk, it was established that Bruce is severely missing his science bro, Tony Stark.
It's a good time to earn a hard time.
And while the show was busy setting Hulk up for another Sakaar storyline that will presumably add some new connection to his life, how cool would it be if Bruce could talk to Tony's ghost? Yeah, I know that would never happen in a million years, but it would be a lot of fun, don't you think?
Feel the waves breaking. Feel the breath, no judgment.
Bruce Banner often thinks of the other guy as a nuisance, someone who he lives in deep fear of, and the constant wrestling of control of their shared body provides the foundation of their whole relationship. But it does come with some perks as well. Because there's split personalities rattling around in his big old brain, it makes the Hulk and Bruce Banner resistant to mind control. And that's super helpful because there's always a bad guy who can use mind control. It's just such an inconvenience. But it just goes to highlight how fractured and chaotic Bruce's mind can be when some of the top mind controllers in the universe have trouble controlling the Hulk. Now, this is something the MCU has also ignored. In Age of Ultron, Scarlet Witch used her mind control on the Hulk, and it caused a major rampage that Iron Man had to stop. Now, it was better fitting for the tragic character arc since it led to Bruce and Hulk feeling so guilty that the Hulk flew off to parts unknown, but imagine that storyline going differently. Imagine that instead of Hawkeye being the one who was mind control resistant, it was instead the Hulk and Bruce character, and they were able to see that there were some benefits to this partnership and give the two a chance to work together. Alright, we know the Hulk is strong, but you may not know how strong. I just wanted to take a quick entry to highlight that the Hulk's strength is limitless. It's only restrained by how angry he gets, and as time goes on, there seems to be more and more things to make him angry. Anyways, what I mean is that his strength has been called limitless in the past, and he can keep leveling up to insane new heights. It's crazy to think that throughout all of the Hulk's huge rampages in the comics, including the Worldbreaker Hulk storyline, where he could literally shatter whole planets, that we still haven't necessarily seen the Hulk reach his true peak yet. You know the Hulk is green, and you may know he's turned some other colors in the past, but do you know all of them? Let's find out. I think the Hulk has turned some variation of practically every major color at this point. There's the gray Hulk, which is actually a less strong but more intelligent gangster who calls himself Joe Fixit. There's the blue Hulk, which is a version of the Hulk that bonded with a uni-power to become Captain Universe, making him arguably the most powerful being in the universe. There's the brown Hulk, aka the Devil Hulk, which exists within Bruce Banner's mind to protect him from the memories of all of Bruce's traumas. And there's even an orange Hulk, which actually comes from a different universe where instead of gamma radiation, it was solar radiation that gave Bruce his powers. What other colors could Hulk turn, and what other powers could be associated with them? Who knows? The Hulk's body may not be the prettiest to look at, but it's arguably the most durable. In fact, the Hulk could presumably live forever. That's all thanks to a wide variety of factors. For one, he has an impressive healing factor that cures him of any ailments, and he's so durable that his skin is just pretty darn strong. You add in the fact that all the gamma radiation is coursing through him, and it results in almost immortal Hulk. There was one storyline that actually explored this concept. It was called Hulk: The End, and it was set in a distant future where Bruce and the Hulk were the only people alive on Earth and just couldn't die. The two hated each other so much in that comic that Bruce would enjoy watching playback video of the Hulk getting attacked and disfigured by cockroaches. Yeah, it was pretty brutal. So maybe immortal life isn't the best thing imaginable? So it's been said that the Hulk's body is basically one big gamma battery, and it's constantly creating and radiating gamma energy. Yeah, that doesn't sound that healthy. If you're around the Hulk, it's probably best if you're wearing some type of super suit, or else you might develop some surprising sicknesses or malignant growths in your body in the near future. But I guess I should mention that while Hulk does emit radiation, he also has the ability to absorb it and make him more powerful. That's why in a lot of stories that deal with nuclear energy, Hulk usually winds up stronger than he was before. So yeah, I guess gamma radiation is pretty bad. I had to Google it because I honestly don't know how it works or what it can do to you, but apparently, according to science, gamma rays basically pass through your body, which sounds great, until you find out that they cause ionizations that can damage your DNA. Brutal. This one is a fun one. You know that Hulk has a hidden homing ability? Yeah, he has a tendency to be able to know where certain things are and know what's coming in his direction without really having any good reason for it. Early on, it was said that this homing ability could have something to do with the villain Maestro, but then later occurrences just have Hulk getting incredibly mad and start smashing his way toward a villain without any previous knowledge about where that villain was actually located. I think that's kind of cool. So good luck hiding from the Hulk if he's out to get you. So if I say Hulk has super breathing, you guys promise to let me explain? Well, the Hulk has super breathing, and it's cooler than it sounds. Hulk's special properties not only allow him to hold his breath when he's in space or underwater, but actually his body more or less adapts to the environment to help him breathe, which is much cooler. So that means Hulk can essentially harmonize his biological structure to adapt to his surroundings, which is pretty awesome. There's one explanation that says that Hulk can breathe underwater thanks to him developing a gland which creates an oxygenated perfluorocarbon emulsion that fills his lungs and equalizes the pressure. And I don't remember much of high school biology, but that sounds pretty cool, right? I like how that's the explanation rather than just, yeah, he holds his breath all the time. It actually dives into Hulk physiology, which is always fascinating. So, one time, the Hulk was taken over by an evil personality known as Titan, and Titan increased Hulk's anger levels so much that the Hulk was able to shoot lasers and energy out of his eyes. And even when Titan left, Hulk was still able to shoot lasers like that for a bit. And it's not like Titan gave Hulk that ability. No, Titan only increased rage levels so Hulk could do it himself, which means if Hulk gets mad enough, he can shoot energy from his eyes. That sort of implies that we haven't seen all of Hulk's special abilities yet, and more could be unlocked in the future as we explore more sides of his anger. I'm looking forward to it. Here's a fun one. Man, the Immortal Hulk storyline is just so wild, guys. It basically reinvents the Hulk to be more of a monster than we ever thought was possible. And one of those new powers we see him use in this series is having complete control over every part of his body. Now, just saying it like that doesn't sound too impressive, right? Well, there's more. When the Hulk was basically chopped up into a bunch of different pieces and placed in a series of jars, the Hulk eventually was able to break out by controlling all the parts of himself and reforming them back together. Yeah, so his head, his stomach, his hands, his intestines were all separated, but Hulk proved he could control all these parts of himself like it was the end of the Iron Giant or something. Okay, everyone right now try to move their kidneys a few inches over. Can't do it, right? That's why the Hulk is so crazy. These last two entries are actually going to focus a bit on Banner. Yes, I know that the Hulk and Banner are two separate personalities, but they work in tandem with each other where the things one does affects the other, and most of the time in situations like these, Banner tends to get overlooked. And while Banner doesn't necessarily have any special hidden powers, I think his technology is vastly underrated. I mean, just look at some of the stuff he's invented and used over the years. Thanks to his BannerTech, he's made a wristwatch teleporter, a mobile global operating system that can hack almost any system and can be mentally controlled. He made a special satchel that when he reaches in it, he can grab things from his lab, and created specialty shields and force fields. So yeah, I wouldn't want to fight Banner any more than I would want to fight the Hulk. He's also done things like create water purification inventions that stop all waterborne diseases, and even has an invention that helped cure a few cancers. His inventions should never be overlooked. And that leads me into the final Banner entry, which is Banner's overall intelligence. He's one of the smartest people on the planet, and while in the comics this is highlighted more, I just don't see this in the MCU. Yes, that's right, in my Hulk Hidden Powers video, I still found a way to talk about how the MCU Hulk is a little disappointing. I think back to Thor Ragnarok, where Banner is afraid to turn back into Hulk, and it sets up an instance where Banner has to be useful for once, but he does nothing except complain about trying to fly a spaceship. I think that movie is great, but always wish we got a cool science-y Banner moment. That's all I'm saying. With the upcoming introduction of Mr. Fantastic and Dr. Doom as two really smart cookies, I hope that Bruce's intelligence isn't sidelined once again, because in the comics, it's such a major part of his character. What's your favorite power on this list, and which one do you wish we could see more of in the MCU? I mean, I'd be happy with any of them if it means our OG Hulk could return, right? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching CBR.